regard the centrality of the United Nations to international relations and the primacy of international law as pivotal to the development of bilateral ties, and Pakistan-Russia relations continue to contribute meaningfully to regional and global stability and security. Excellencies, as we look to the future, Eurasian connectivity and integration offer several new opportunities for common prosperity and development. We view the revival of historical land routes through Central Asia as vital to enhancing our bilateral trade relations with Russia, and see the international North-South transport corridor as central to realizing these opportunities. Energy security, too, remains critical for Pakistan, and cooperation with Russia in this area is an important component of our bilateral trade relations. This is also reflective of the fact that both the energy ministers from Russia and Pakistan are the co-chairs of the Intergovernmental Commission that exists today. Turning to the economic dimension of our partnership, our bilateral trade stood at about $240 million in financial year 2025, a figure I must candidly note does not reflect its true potential. Having surpassed the $1 billion in financial year 2024, trade unfortunately declined thereafter due to impediments in payment mechanisms, finance, banking, and shipping channels. The program of economic cooperation between Pakistan and Russia for the period until 2030 is expected to further strengthen our economic relations, though businesses on both sides continue to lack sufficient familiarity with one another. Distinguished guests, Russia's geography spanning 2 continents underscores the opportunities that Eurasian connectivity and integration hold for our shared prosperity. In this regard, Pakistan has signed a memorandum of understanding on the Belarus, Russia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan multimodal transport corridor, in addition to an MOU on railway cooperation with Russia signed on 7th June 2024. The establishment of a rail link would be instrumental in expanding bilateral trade and could help realize the upgradation of the Quetta-Taftan Railroad. While there are presently no direct flights between our 2 countries, both sides are considering the possibilities of early resumption, and our airlines could explore code sharing and transit route arrangements, particularly for cargo flights. As a major global energy producer, Russia offers considerable scope for cooperation in this particular sector. The Russian company Zarubezhneft signed a memorandum of understanding with Pakistan Petroleum Limited and the Oil and Gas Development Company in February 2025. And its office, operational since August 2025, marks a significant step towards deeper energy cooperation. Zarubezhneft continues to work closely with the Pakistani side on oil and gas projects. We also welcome Novatech's interest in developing cooperation with Pakistani partners in the gas sector, LNG supplies and integrated gas projects, as well as the Rus Hydro Group's interest in serving as an engineering partner for the modernization of existing hydraulic facilities and the design of new ones in Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, the revival of Pakistan Steel Mills Karachi is a flagship project that builds on the legacy of Pakistan-Russia relations and will stand as a symbol of our friendship and cooperation in the decades ahead. Given the considerable size of our domestic steel market, we believe this project is highly feasible and remain keen to see it realized. Finally, on the people-to-people front, the signing of the readmission agreement between our two countries in June marks a landmark development for future generations, and we believe the two sides must now work towards establishing an easier visa regime, particularly for group tourists and business travelers. We look forward to welcoming our Russian friends to Pakistan in the spring and autumn months, particularly those with an interest in mountaineering. We are also pleased to note that approximately 1,087 Pakistani students are currently studying at Russian universities and educational institutions, and we encourage more Pakistani students to consider Russia as a destination for higher education. We remain grateful to Russia for the scholarships extended to Pakistani students and would request that these be increased further, especially in the field of science and technology. Excellencies, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude today's webinar, I thank all our distinguished guests for joining this important conversation on trade, education, and energy collaboration. Our bilateral relations rest on mutual trust and respect. Today's discussion reaffirmed the progress being made from growing energy sector engagement to the revival of Pakistan's steel mills, while highlighting the trade potential still to be realized. The recent readmission agreement and the presence of Pakistani students in Russian institutions reflect the depth of our people-to-people ties, which we look forward to strengthening further. I would like to thank all speakers and participants for their valuable contributions and look forward to carrying this dialogue into concrete action. In the end, I'd also like to inform you that we've planned an intergovernmental commission, the next one, in Moscow in the month of November, if both sides agree to do that. And I would really appreciate, Ambassador Saab, if the webinar of today and the other one that we had recently could actually ink down the core and key recommendations so that you could guide the policymakers, and for both the chairs of the Intergovernmental Commission to consider some of the key recommendations to be a part of the Intergovernmental Commission dialogue that we have in November this year, inshallah. Thank you all.
درست